Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your girl, Angelique Bates, and you know how we do. It's the evening showdown every Wednesday. You never know who's going to be in the seat. And guess who we got today? Mr. Resteghini, better known as Rage.
Yes. Thanks, Angelique.
Man, no problem. How you been?
On the grind. I think the last time you saw me, I was on set doing something. And it's the same thing now, just nonstop.
Right. Like, for those that don't know who you are, because I know who you are. You're a legend. Let's keep it all the way 100. Let the people know who are listening exactly who you are.
Well, a lot of people know me for my music videos.
Mm-hmm.
I've done damn near 1,000 videos. Rock, pop, metal, country, you name it, I've done it. Reggae.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all around the world. Different artists, different cultures. But a lot of people know me from, like, my Soulja Boy videos,
Right.
from Crank That and Kiss Me Through the Phone, to my Jim Jones videos, Dipset videos, Mims, This Is Why I'm Hot, OT
Right.
Genesis, Coco, Puffy, Ice Cube,
Right.
Nicki's first video, Yo Gotti, DJ Drama, just the
Putting
whole
people on the
gamut.
map.
Little Kim, yeah.
And you did, was it the Hip Hop Witch, right? It was like a spoof.
Oh, yeah, it was a spoof of the Blair Witch Project called the Hip Hop Witch. I had Eminem in it, and Ja Rule, and Charlie Baltimore, all kinds of people.
So how many years, per se, have you been in the industry?
Well, I did my first movie in 1997.
Wow, okay.
Feature film, and I started doing music videos in 2003. And then, after about 4, 5, 6, 8, and 100, and then I got to 1,000. My focus for the last few years, since 2009, 10, and 11, has been my feature films and my TV shows.
Okay.
So I still do videos. Like, I was just down in Miami doing a video with Tory Lanez and Two Pistols.
Wow.
So I'm still always I'm getting a call from people, from Busta, from whoever, saying, yo, Rage, you need a video. Khaled, no, Rage, you need a video. So depending on the situation, the timing, schedule, I'll still do videos, but the focus has been my films, my TV shows, and I'm a part of a few different platforms that, bring in the dollars and things like that too.
So your original love was doing film.
Absolutely, yeah.
What made you get into music?
Well, and it was I have this conversation with a lot of my new Gen X crew or Gen Z crews and millennials. In the 90s, it was a different time. You couldn't Google anything. You couldn't poke somebody. You had to go and do it to figure it out. So back then, it was a lot harder to gain penetration into the business.
Right.
And if you didn't have that real get up and hustle and to go bang on some doors and make some cold calls, you weren't going to get in. So that's what I did, and I was running the streets of New York City, studio to studio. People heard about me because I was doing my films, which always had a musical component to it.
Right.
And then I would start to run into different artists, and I said, what about a music video? And they said, well, I'm family with such and such, and I'm family with such and such. So it was very hard to penetrate.
Right.
But, you stay, like anything, if you keep going hard, you're eventually going to find your talent will push you forward. And ultimately, that's what happened to me. And, the rest is history.
Where are you originally from?
Born in Boston.
What?
And then I moved to New York City like in 94, 95. And that, that's back when I was also an actor. So I was working on a TV show called New York Undercover.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, and actually, my first episode on that was the episode that had Biggie in it.
Really?
It had Tretch in it, had Yo-Yo, Sticky Fingers, Fredro Starr, MC Light. So, and back then, though, New York was just killing it. It was Bad Boy. It was the Tunnel. It was like crazy times out in New York City. Hip hop was a different time.
Yeah, and especially music. So I guess also doing music videos, that was like a jackpot right there.
Yeah, no, that's when like Hype Williams and those guys were killing it, and that's when I was trying to get in. And that's the budgets were massive, so I was able to still get in, when the budgets are still pretty good. Now the budgets are just not what they are, but it was definitely good times, and it was definitely a challenge. But because I made my name back then, a lot of new executives and all of the new lawyers, I'm on a first name basis with now, so I can just call them up and like an artist once you look at, they call me for videos or we have meetings. So, there's a lot of, when you have longevity in this game, people respect that.
Yeah. And like that, it's super crazy because people don't even realize when they're looking at these music videos, like there's people behind these music videos. It's like, okay, yeah, you're sitting there, you just bump into it, and it's like, oh, okay, it's cool. But the process, the thinking process, the storyboard, like, that's not easy, because I used to do cinematography, like, and that was like my major. Right. So just having to do the storyboards and then put everything together, and then you got to do the casting, and then you got to make sure you have the loners.
Yeah. Well, like, you're talking about a time where music videos were dealt with differently, because back in the day, labels had a lot more money and things were done a different way. Nowadays, it's like, the reason I started my IG page 6 years ago when I didn't really think I wanted to have one was because I would meet some new rapper with some new hit, and he'd look at me like, what do you do before? And I'm like, yo.
You don't even know.
Yo. 106 in Park, like 5 years straight, multiple countdowns, the most notarized, #1 videos. So now you got to have an IG page. And because the music business got dumbed down with streaming and downloading, and nobody buys actual CDs anymore, it affected commerce. And so it affected what they had available to spend and make video budgets on. And then with the advent of digital technology with cameras, you didn't need as many lights. You didn't need to, and cameras got smaller. So it kind of dumbed down that process. And now everybody can just be that's why there's so many Instagram models, Instagram creative directors, Instagram rappers, mumble rappers, like SoundCloud rappers. Everything got dumbed down. Yeah. So sometimes I get hit by somebody on IG. How much you charge for video? I'm like, okay, this is one of those dumb conversations. I'm like, yo, wake up. Go to Joe around the corner and have him do your video on his camera. Do a pull-up video, no lights, no permits, and just go. That's a video.
Right, do it on the porch.
Oh my God, or in a parking garage. It's like, God. So So for the most part, I just wait for people to call me that I have a relationship with, or labels call me. Like, I just did a big video for a band called Five Finger Death Punch. They're like literally the biggest rock band on the planet.
Heard of them.
So I had to go to Vegas, and I got to do a couple for Scott Stapp, who's the singer of Creed. He's not with Creed anymore, but he's got a epic new album, and they want to have some big visuals. So I do stuff like that when people call me, and I take time out of my other schedule to make sure I deliver a great music video. Because, I mean, I'm not one to just pull up and shoot guys, because, a lot of these new filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers, feel like because they got a red camera, they get a Ronin, they got an IG page, they're winning, they're directors. Yes. I'm like, no, it's framing and it's lighting. And it's framing and lighting. And when I was learning my craft as a director, a lot of my DPs, like Cliff Charles, who won an Emmy for When the Levees Broke, or Martin Algren, who shoots House of Cards, and a lot of my DPs I came up with Brandon Cox are killing it, doing 20, 30, 40, $50 million films. When I didn't know anything as a director, other than just knowing I wanted to direct, I would hear conversations between like my gaffer and my DP, like, how does this frame look?
Right.
Do we need more fill? Now all I hear is, this camera shoots 8K, and it has nothing to do with the art of it. It's like all tech. Yeah. I'm like, you guys are missing the whole point.
I'm so glad you said that, because I got into a debate with a director about it, because like people don't even realize, like they think I'm just, I don't know what they just think I am, like the girl from all that, but like after the show, like I went to college, like I had a major, so production and, like I said, doing cinematography was something that I wanted to do, and so I was just like, why am I in this and I'm already doing it? Like I'm wasting years. But I had a debate with the director, because they were just like, oh, I have a red camera. I'm like, that means nothing if you don't know how to use it. Yeah. And like it was something that they wanted to invest more in the camera than I believe that it was like the visuals. Like they didn't want to invest in the wardrobe. I said, look, check this out. With that red camera, you got to make sure you got the makeup, the hair, the wardrobe, and the location. Because if none of that is invested in, the red camera means nothing. Yeah. And sure enough, I was right. Yeah. They learned the hard way. But it was just like, people just, I call it name hoes.
Yeah.
That's really what they are.
I've literally had to show some youngsters that I could shoot a better video with my phone than they can with their red camera, because they know how to use it.
Exactly. And people don't even get that. It's just like, oh, it's a camera. I've got it. I'm going to spend all my money like how they're doing with the shoots.
Yeah. No. So all you newbies out there, it's about framing and lighting. Exactly. Know your craft.
Exactly. And the software.
in the software.
And it doesn't have to be like all super expensive. You just need to know what software you're looking at, because I had Problem in here, and he was talking about, that he's back to, trying to make beats.
I worked with Problem. Yeah,
love him. And I forgot what softwares he said, but I was expecting him to say like the major ones, because that's what everyone says, because they're like, oh, I have to put all this money down. And he said like the basic ones that I learned off of. And I was just like, I'm so glad that you're saying that, because there are kids out there that are sitting here thinking they have to go for broke, rob, or whatever just to get this software that they don't even know how to use, but that makes them a producer.
Right,
that makes them a beat maker. No, it's not even about that. It's about even GarageBand. Like I used to learn off of GarageBand. People want to down into so much, but if you know how to use GarageBand, you can make some dope beats.
Yeah.
I've heard people that have made hits off of GarageBand, but the people that knock it, they don't know how to use it. Same thing with the cameras. But
ignorance is ignorance.
Ignorance is bliss. But you've definitely proven that you have to have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's also what I tell people when it comes to like, people of wealth. You have the people that are wealthy that barely wear the name brands.
Yeah.
You have to like use a magnifying glass to find the logo.
Right.
But the ones that don't have the money are the ones with the big old flashy name brand logos or whatever, and probably something that's probably not even in the store.
Yeah. Or the people that are lacking in some security, so they want to feel like there's somebody by. There'll be a rapper that will go unnamed that had an issue with me because I wasn't impressed with his Gucci scarves, and it ended up getting physical.
See,
yeah,
that's almost like.
And I was like, I'm not the one. Okay, how many face tattoos you got? I'm not that one. No.
And that's just what happened with my brother Lazy. Like the first thing that they did was like, well, how much money? It's not about money. Like we're old school. It's about talent and credibility.
Yeah.
But it's a new age. You have a project that you've been working on, Cracking.
Yeah. Actually, it's a project I created. It's called Cracker. It's set up to be a series that would, ideally be on a Netflix or an Amazon. There are some conversations now with some A-list actors that it may be best used as a feature film first, and then set up to be as a scripted series. But I went and shot a pilot, which shows the whole world, and it literally has this town on fire. All the agencies, production companies.
Wow.
Every top actor you can think of that we know in our universe are like, they want to be a part of it.
I wanted to be a part of it. I saw that, was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So you start. So on my IG page, you can. It's like, I think it's the third row down in the middle. People can go check it out.
Yeah.
That's a 1 minute clip of 30 minutes that we shot. But it's really just this 2.5 minute sizzle that's going around town that people are just like flipping out over.
Yeah.
And it was created from a real sense of passion for wanting to flip the script and change the subject and let people see racism through a new lens, because the conversations that we have they don't seem to go anywhere
at all.
And Keke Palmer has a small role in it, and in the sizzle that we shot, her and her mom like flipped out over it. Rami Randall, who is my longtime friend and stylist for a lot of my music videos, she was a stylist on it, and she was like, I'm sorry, I take that back. Rami was not the stylist on it. Her mom is she was going to be a stylist on it, but travel didn't permit. But her mom, who's a Black Panther from the '60s out here.
Oh wow.
Who loves my my work and my hustle and all that stuff. She was like, this is incredible. Like this is like seeing this.
Yeah.
And she said, I don't like it because we're seeing white people suffer the same way we did. I love it because it gives you guys a chance to see what we went through. And as simple as that is, it just is jarring, because I've shown it to a lot of white people, and when there's some imagery, there's some scenes where there's a white woman getting raped by a black slave master, and the white husband, who's in chains, is screaming and crying because he's seeing it happen in front of him. They're all like wigged out over it, like they don't want to. They want to turn away.
Yeah.
But by the same token, they've seen 12 Years a Slave, they've seen Roots, they've seen things like this, and they won't turn away.
Right.
I'm like, this is like something is that's significant. That is like, wow.
Right.
And so and what got me to create that, what the genesis of that was in the wake of Charlottesville and Trump, and seeing what a lot of people I grew up with talk about on social media. They're okay just being very flippant at the mouth about black people, and they're okay with seeing an unarmed black man get shot by a cop. And I'm like, wow, this is what we've come to. Like these types of comments and I just can't believe that that after all these years we're still there. So I said, okay, what can I do what would make that ignorant person that just said that negative comment about that black person getting shot or killed, and it's clear as day that it was a bad situation.
Right.
What would make them see this differently? I'm like, what if it was their 9-year-old daughter or their 99-year-old sweet grandmother getting cracked in the head with a bat, because that's what happened.
Yeah.
Or seeing a lot of white people hanging from trees.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's so when people see this show, they're like, whoa. Okay.
Right. It gives a whole nother retrospect to it. Yeah, you have to make it where it relates to them.
Exactly.
Then it becomes an issue.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I just actually read a story, I believe it was Mary Turner. Like, I had never even heard about this woman. But I guess it was a situation where they had the slave owner had gotten killed by one of the slaves. It was over money. And of course there was a mob, and they lynched the slave, but the wife, well, I guess she was like in her 20s, pretty much was like revenge, and she was like, kill everybody, whatever. Anyway, they got a hold of this, and they ended up killing her, but she was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they actually hung her from a tree, it said, and they covered her in gasoline. And not only when they did that, they sliced her stomach open.
Wow.
But this is like, I never even heard this story. And then I found out there's a museum in Boston where I guess it was another situation kind of similar to that. But they said they sold cats inside the womb and watched the cats. Like, they were doing crazy stuff.
What year was this?
That's what it didn't say.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
yeah. I was baffled. Like I said, like, good old Instagram. And, and I follow like those different kind of sites, that like are opening. And it was crazy. And I was just like, we need more stories like that, because there's no reason why I should never have heard that story.
Right.
But people swear that there wasn't any racism. Like, I had someone get on one of my comments and was just like, oh, you know what? You're using it as an excuse. Get over it. Look. Racism is very much still alive.
No, listen, my first movie I did in '97 was called Colors of Rage, and I've really mostly dated just black girls.
Yeah.
And so I whether she was from the South or whether she was from the East Coast, I mean, been to many churches, many barbecues.
Yeah.
Play spades like nobody's business.
Right.
So I know what's up in terms of like the culture, right?
Right.
And when I see these Republicans and these idiots say, "Oh, racism doesn't," shut the fuck up, y'all. Try to keep it white as like,
you know what I mean?
So like I get heated quick on that stuff. But
yeah.
So when I had the idea of, okay, I can flip the script, let people see this from this perspective. How do I get there in a cool way that's appetizing to a studio or for an audience? And at the time I came up with the idea, Stranger Things was killing it.
Right.
And Outlander was a really cool show that I liked. Outlander is a time travel show where the woman from the future meets a guy from the past, and she falls in love. And I'm like, okay, so, and I always loved time travel.
Right.
So the sci-fi aspect, dealing with the real historical significance of racism.
Right.
It was like a winning combination. So I have a present-day white supremacist that gets thrust back to an alternate times with black rule.
Right.
And it's just, people just like, I get some really good actors like Hakeem, who's been in like Pirates of the Caribbean. He's been in Black Sails. So it's just a fantastic situation. And
I'm glad it's you doing it, because I feel like if it was Spike Lee or a Hakeem
that's also like when I met with the studios and a lot of the A-list actors, and they've been wanting to put me with like, I mean, again, I don't just want to drop a bunch of names, but the very, very top black actors and producers and studios that I want to be a part of this, most of them said, you know what, it needs to, and then if they know me and after they meet me, you know, if they hadn't already known me, they're like, yeah, this needs to be you. This is coming from you.
Right.
Because it's like
they're listen.
Yeah, and it's like it's coming from a unique perspective. And it's not being forced, and it'll be accepted that way.
Yeah, it's. I guess the pill is easier to swallow.
Right.
And we are, I guess, in this time period, everyone's so sensitive, and it's all about, spare my feelings. But it's like these are topics that need to be dealt with, especially the little 7-year-old that just got killed.
Yeah, no, and it's like again, dealing with racism in words and feelings. And when it came, when there was a lot of heat on this, when the town first got a hold of it, there was some conversations about putting like a very famous black executive next to me to sort of be co-creator. And I'm like, and I didn't really wash with me, because it's like saying you doing a show called Cracker,
right,
and then me doing one called Nigga. It's like
right.
People like how does that even wash?
It's not,
and because that word is the exact same word, just
right,
the different race.
Right. You caught my attention because when I read it, I was like, wait, like that's what caught my attention because you're saying it.
Yeah.
And normally that's like the word like, oh my God, And so that's what made me even look. And I was like, when I started researching, I was like, yo, this is really dope. And people really need to see this. Now maybe they'll listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
I hope Netflix or something like picks it up, because it definitely, I could really see it on Netflix.
Yeah, no, this is it's going. Like literally when I leave here, I have to go to another meeting, and now that the town's back, everybody's it's all she wrote. I mean, again, A-list actor after A-list actor, packaging, like, so it's a lot of the politics come into play, but it's certainly gonna get done. Now, whether it's a feature film first or a trilogy of feature films,
right,
or whether it's I really want to do like 10 episodes, because we're gonna go with the story and go back and forth with the time and really dig into history, and get into some stories and let people really just embrace this conversation in a way that they've never done before,
right?
And for the kids, it's a really nice situation.
And definitely the youth, because I feel like the youth is asleep, and I found myself with my 11 and 10-year-old, like when I was growing up, there was things that we didn't have to deal with. I find myself like having talks that I've talked about police brutality and racism before having the sex talk.
I was one of my hustles is I consult artists, because I've got artists signed.
Right.
I know producers, lawyers, labels. So I was at Scott Storch's house with an artist, and Verse Simmons was there writing some lyrics with her, and him and his whole crew. They wanted to see it. And
right.
They literally flipped. They're like, it's the same reaction every single time. Like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, yo. And then I was really impressed. I was with this producer named Tank God.
Yeah.
Who he had that song Rockstar with 21 Savage and Post Malone. And I was at his place in Jersey City, and his best friend is like the 17-year-old white kid, because, Tank's only like 21 years old.
Right.
And they literally saw, and this kid's 17 years old, and he saw the opening frames. He's like, yo, this is incredible. I'm like, whoa. 17-year-old kid, like he's 17 years old. Like, like the fact that he got it the way he got it was like, it blew me away. So, So whether it's a 70-year-old grandmother, black woman that gets it, or whether it's a 17-year-old white kid, everybody in between, it's like, it checks every single box for what people want to see. And you've seen the artwork, right? Some of the rough artwork.
Yes, I did.
Imagine that on billboards and buses driving by. People are like, yo,
people gonna stop and look.
Exactly.
I was looking at all that, and because of who you are, like, you get the visuals too.
Yeah.
Because people don't even it's all a formula. It's chess, not checkers.
Right.
And like I said, I hope you do episodes, because that also gives more content for actors like me that really want in-depth projects.
Yeah.
Because we really don't have that many decent projects out there. You have some, but like you said.
And speaking about that, you've had a humble career, successful. I've had one, and all self-made. It's like I choose to play this game of Hollywood on my own terms. I've never been the guy that goes to the clubs, the parties, turn up. Like I've never been that guy. I'm like, I'm old school. I'm blue collar, working class, and I'm like, I let my work speak for itself. And you know, I've been on this long turn for quite a while, but still, again, I've been bi-coastal for 10 years. I'm gonna make a lot of money each month, all self-made, and I do it. It's like I just do it because when you're that good, your phone is always gonna ring.
Regardless.
And there's been a lot of people I helped put on over the years that they've laddered up, they didn't want to reach back out. I'm like, okay, y'all just, you know, but they still know I'm coming. They still see me there.
They're still following.
Like, yeah, exactly. So when it comes to a show like this, that, you know, a bunch of people said, yo, you should be doing Power. You should be doing Empire. You should be doing, of course I should be. But you know what? The politics, the friends, the relationships, it's all good. You all do you.
You're right.
But when I get something that I created that's this good, that's this powerful, that just is the first domino to fall that really opens up the rest of the floodgates.
It does.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, because like even in my situation, like I've put a lot of people on, you know, and it's not about, oh, I did this, I did that, but it's just so funny because politics and everything. But now that the show, like I said, I've had it for about 5 years, but now that the show is on a different platform, people are starting to look. And then it's like now some of them slowly but surely, you know, they're dragging because they don't want to do it, but they're slowly like knocking on the door like, hey, Ange, you know, it's me. But, you know, it's like, I always tell people, be careful of the people you kick on the way up, because those are the same people that you're going to end up needing later on. You know,
and again, it's about longevity and a track record and how you treat people. And have you seen that show Pose?
No, I heard about it. Yeah.
So Billy Porter was up for an Emmy this year for that show. I've known since the mid-'90s in New York City, when I moved to New York City. I put him in my first movie called Colors of Rage, which is about, I don't want to get that, but I put him in his first movie, and like he's now up for an Emmy this year, and he's been on he's got the voice of voices. If you Google Billy Porter, his voice is, he played like Grease, he played like the Beauty School Dropout song. What was the character?
I know what you're talking about.
But like, we're talking about voices, phenomenal. Like Patti LaBelle on steroids, phenomenal. Like, and it's just, you know, I'm gonna do that. When you're around this business, around all these great talents, some make it and some don't. But as long as you stay true to who you are and you stay cool to everybody involved, it's like, you know, it's just a journey. And I try to help the people as much as you can. And you hope that the people you help put on, if they end up getting into a better situation, that they, you know, look out for you. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You just got to stay focused on you and just stay on your path and stay on your own journey and keep winning.
No, I think that's a great advice, because a lot of people, it's always about making sure you're doing it for pure reasons, not for the claim, you know, because it's almost like when people, they want that apology and they're like, you know, just accept the apology that you'll probably never get. You know, it's just about if you genuinely want to help, because it took me a while to get to that place, you know, but if you genuinely want to help, do it not expecting anything in return, because 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to get it in return, you know, but karma is karma and the universe is what it is, and everything comes back full circle. Where do you see yourself, like, let's say, in the next 5 years? Do you still see yourself still wanting to do music, or are you just going to like ever really branch away from the music and just focus solely on the theater?
I do, it's funny, I've been able to work with legends like the Guns N' Roses guy, Scott Weiland, who passed away. He used to be a singer of Stone Temple Pilots. Now working with, like, you know, Scott Stapp, working with, you know, Eric Campbell, the gospel world. I mean, I've, you know, worked with a lot of icons from a lot of different genres of music. And I feel like, okay, I've got the music video legacy down. 1,000 videos, all that stuff, 10 billion views, blah, blah, blah. I really only want to do music videos related to my my projects. I know actually Columbus Short reached out to me about directing an amazing script he wrote called LSD, which is based on a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates from the 70s who famously pitched a no-hitter, what they call a no-no, while on LSD. And it's if you were to take Requiem for a Dream meets like What's Love Got to Do with It, it's an incredible script. So and there's a lot of amazing sound and sonic moments, soundtrack moments.
Because he's into music too.
Yeah, he is. And so, but like I have another project called Soul of a Sister, which is sort of my Jerry Maguire for the music business. One called Black Betty Brown, which is sort of a female version of Lethal Weapon or Shaft.
Wow.
And so like sound and music is always a part of that. And so like whether it's, and I was supposed to, I don't know, going back and talk about just the way this nepotism is in this business is.
Yes.
On Rihanna's second album, I was picked by her management team to do 3 music videos for her. And I went to Westchester, met up with the whole team. We talked about the visuals because I was actually just killing it at that point in time.
Right.
Well, sure enough, there was this woman hater at the label. Oh, who is he? What's his name? Dale Rage. What has he done before? Like all that side shade crap.
Yeah. Typical.
So sure enough, she blocked me from doing Rihanna's videos. And I was blocked on doing a lot of that stuff because that's where the glam videos for the females. Yeah. That's where the real big money was.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Of course, a lot of these music video commissioners who really don't know anything about actually making videos, they have a budget and they want to give the budget to their friends who have production companies, who've got their directors, and it's a little. Whether it's a Gucci handbag falling off the truck that goes missing and damaged, which they get as a kickback, or whether it's $10,000 in a paper bag
that's missing,
and a massage as a kickback, all kind of shady shit going on. You know how it goes.
Exactly. Hollywood.
So when it comes, music videos moving forward, if I can't get anything out of it, creatively. Or financially, it doesn't move me to do it. So I'll refer some of these young guys that I have coming up to go do it, But like if I'm doing a soundtrack, like a Beyonce on or whatever, then I'll rock that, because I'm owed that and I want to do that. So, but moving forward, I've literally done every setup you can imagine. I've done the cave video, I've done the studio video, I've done the video with the fire, the snow, the rain, the boat, the yacht.
Right, you did it all.
Yeah.
So it kind of sound like how I feel, because somebody asked me if I still wanted to do the industry. It's just kind of like I've done it for so many years. I feel like I've reached my peak with certain things. Like it's different chapters. That's always going to be a part of me. But like stand up, I don't really like doing stand up. It's something that I did. Yeah. But that's not where my heart is. Right. Like actually I like producing. I like directing. That's more of my thing. Right. I'm in front of the camera, cool. But like theater, I grew up in theater. It's just like, I did that, I accomplished it, boom, put my stamp on it, Yeah. And whatever the next chapter is. What advice would you give to anyone that is interested in, I just guess, getting in the world of directing, whether it's, movies or music?
But first thing I'd say is, because I actually have spoken at like NYU, I've spoken at New York Film Academy. The first thing you really got to love what you want to do. And if you really want to, make movies or make commercials or whatever your vision is for directing, you got to own it. And I really feel that in today's world, you don't have to go to film school. I didn't go to film school. I learned just from doing it myself. But, there are some people out there that, mom and dad want to spend $40-50 grand a year for the kid to go waste 4 years of their life, when I literally have had kids that went to NYU for 4 years and spent 2 days on my set and said, I've learned more in 2 days on your set than I did in 4 years of film school. And there's a lot of people eating right now. Yeah. DPs, editors, directors that I physically put on. And they're doing videos for Ariana Grande, they're doing videos for Kendrick Lamar, they're doing videos for everybody that came through my school. Now, I can count on one hand how many people shout me out, and give me the props. Zero. But I don't. No. There's a couple, but most of them are like, they get all heady and they want to forget where they come from. And I'm brutal. Like I will, if you're gonna PA in my set, you're gonna be a PA. You're not gonna be, pulling out your phone and taking pictures of talent. No, it's not. It ain't that kind of come up. You're gonna learn what you need to learn and do it this way. So, so people either love me for my hustle, or they hate me for my hustle, right? Or however you want to categorize me. But a lot of people eating because they came through my whether they spent 2 days or 2 months or 2 years working on my sets, they learned what they needed to learn, and they're doing well for it.
And and I love the fact that you're able to separate business from personal, which a lot of people can't. Just like you said, if you're going to PA on my set, that's what you're going to do. It's not hey, what's up? Oh, so we going to kick it later. Oh, let's have drink. And I've seen that on certain sets, which to me I think is very disastrous. But I have student loans right now. I didn't even graduate from the school. And because I was like, why am I here? And it's like, now I have all these student loans that I'm still paying for with interest. Can't even get a wish if I want it. But I didn't learn anything from the school at all. I learned from being in music studios or being on set.
Right.
And I feel like school, nothing against anyone that wants to go to school. Hey, the parents want to send you want to get the paper? Cool, do what you do. But I feel like it's sometimes a scam. Especially the financial aid office. But that's a whole nother show. But, what other projects do you have that you want the people to listen to before we go?
Well, I'm working with an artist that my wife Kim discovered named Taya, Taya Lewis, and I believe her IG. And I got a Soulja Boy on a song for her.
Ooh.
She has a song called Instagram Famous.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
perfect.
send it to you so you can play it for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and maybe you can figure out how to tag her, follow her. But 19 years old, very interesting story.
Should have her on the show.
Yeah. They're in Jersey, but I could, we're going to come here and do a video at the JBL Experience Center.
Okay.
I do a lot of videos at JBL. There's a $20 million experience center they have where, JBL, they're owned by Samsung now. So they've got speakers, they've got microphones, AKG microphones, they've got all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
I did one with the One Direction guys over there. I did one. Yeah, Avery Wilson, who was on American Idol, I did one for him recently over there. Got Soulja Boy on her track called Instagram Famous. Dre, because he's like my little brother,
right?
And he's in Malibu now, so I'm up there quite a bit. And he heard the track, he's like, "Yo, this is a smash." So we're probably gonna drop it top of the year. I'm talking to labels now already about her. So it's actually kind of, and also I'm a part of a couple of platforms. And one you should be a part of called SNTF.US. It's Shop Now to Fund.
Okay.
And basically imagine Amazon, but anything you bought on our site, 40% goes to a charity, whether it's a kids charity, whether it's a school uniforms for kids, or
right.
And we're working with the Denver Broncos or Detroit. A lot of pro athletes,
right?
Pro sports teams, a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers. So that's, and I'm VP of entertainment for that as well. So I got multiple hustles going on. You have to.
You have to in this industry.
And it's in this day and age too. It's not like it was like 20, 30 years ago where you just had like one title.
Right.
Producer,
and it's like boom.
A writer.
Right.
And because literally I work with people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Amanda Cerny, all these different influencers, and Jake's killing it. He has his own clothing line called Rainbow, and if you have a fan base, if you have an audience, and they rock with you, you can actually do very, very well with them. So with this platform, SNTF.US, I'll send you some stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please do.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. You know me, I'm a humanitarian too, and it's all about giving back, and especially with the youth. I love giving back to the youth because I feel like with all the bad seeds that we have going on, you have to start with the youth because the youth is what's going to change everything.
Yeah, no, and when you meet when you meet your two little ones, when you meet good young kids, it's refreshing because we hear a lot about the bad ones, and we hear, and unfortunately, and I had this conversation today too, these devices, these mobile phones, when I was growing up, we
didn't have those.
You didn't have it.
At all.
And
we had bikes.
if you were going trying to find a girl's house and you were driving, if you got lost, there was no navigation.
No.
You had to find a payphone. If that payphone wasn't working, you had to go find somebody.
See them in school the next day.
Yeah, and at 10 o'clock you were in bed.
That was
there was
it.
no TV. There wasn't any porn. There wasn't how to make a bomb. There was none of that stuff.
None of that.
So these phones make kids dumber.
Yes, it does.
It makes them smarter. It makes them more grown a lot faster, and it's good and bad. But unfortunately, I think we see a lot more bad than good from that.
It is bad because, and my son, it's kind of interesting that you say that because my son doesn't even, he thinks I know there's times that he thinks I'm being so mean, but he doesn't get it. He has a cell phone, but I called it the Obama phone because it's still Obama. I don't care. Because he used to have like the regular, but I'm like, you know what? You only need this for emergencies. And then he'll be like, oh, well, can I get on the internet? No, you can use it on the weekends because I still need you in the moment. You still have schoolwork. You still have things that you need to focus on. And even on the weekend, you're not about to be on it all the time. Even when we're like going somewhere, oh, Mom, can I take my phone with me? No, you need to be looking out the window, observe your surroundings. But these kids, and I see it all the time, even with certain kids that, that I know of my friends or whatever, nothing against anybody, but I just see them so engulfed in the electronics. And the kids are smart. The kids are doing what they're doing, but they're just so into what's going on, and I feel like the Matrix, is dumbing it down. They might know Fortnite and they might know all the codes, but do they know what's going on with climate change? Do they know what's going on in the presidential?
Yeah, but my wife Kim has a longtime friend who moved to Italy a long time ago, and she has 2 kids who are Italian, and they come over like the last couple of summers. They come over, and European kids, it's like they play soccer, like they want to go outside, and they're not so much into just into the gram. So it's again. So I think we see a lot more of that because we're in the business, and we're here in America, in the States,
which is different.
But it is refreshing to know. I mean, when you do meet young kids that just aren't into. I mean, I was in the gym the other day, and there was a woman. I think the kid must have been 8 months old, and she was working out. He's in the crib, and I literally see this kid. He's months. He's not even a year old.
Yes.
The kid is literally.
With the phone.
She gives him the phone so she can
it's
work
a distraction.
out. But he's like this. And he's got like a stressed face. He's on the phone. Like, wow.
Yeah. You're starting them young.
Yeah.
It's a lot that needs to be changed, but that's where it starts with us, and it starts with the younger generation.
Well, I'll be happy to say that I've actually figured out this chair, so I won't be slipping anymore. So I'm lower now, so so I figured that out.
Right, he's like, we got that part now. Well, where can everybody find you and these projects?
Go to my IG page, which is at Real Rage, which is REEL RAGE. REEL RAGE. And also on Twitter, it's Real Rage, also at Twitter. But yeah, DM me, talk to me. I've helped so many influencers, directors, DPs, actors, artists. And if I don't have time or if I can't help you, I'll try to point you in the right direction. But yeah, for the most part, just hit me there, and I like helping. And even though there have been some people that have helped that end up becoming bad seeds and bad people, and they try to do you dirty, it's never stopped me from trying to help others. You can't let those kinds of people affect your soul,
Right. Well, they never said that the weapons wouldn't form, but they won't prosper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for coming through.
No, it was great.
And definitely, I want your artist. So, we definitely have to link that up so she can come through and I can interview her too.
Yeah.
And
I will, and now I'll keep you updated on Cracker, and we'll have you come to set and
definitely
hang out. We're going to need some young actors, so maybe little ones, and we'll go from there.
They got their work permits, so.
Yeah.
Well, you guys already know what it is, the Evening Showdown, every Wednesday. Like I said, you never know who's going to be in the seat. I might have a doctor. You might have a doctor. You might have a politician. You might have somebody's mama. You never know. But keep on tuning in every Wednesday. Boom.